Righto guys, welcome back to another ep. Hope you had a good Christmas. I wasn't going to do another episode, but I thought because there's so many of you guys on the road, this one might benefit some people. So, are caravanners dangerous? The brutal truth of it all. This one's controversial, I think. It's going to get me some few comments on here, I think, and probably lose a few subscribers, but you guys know me by now. I'll tell the truth, I'll tell you how it is, and it's what you want to hear. So, are caravanners dangerous? Well, by the way, Lisa's already left. She says, I'm not getting part of this one, I'm out of here. So, I'm on my own with this. She wants no part of it. So, number one on my list, I've got 7 points. So, stay with it to the end, because I think they're all good, valid points. And I'd like to see your feedback and comments into this and see what you guys think. So, this is my brutal truth. 6 months on the road, what I've witnessed, what I've seen. Keeping it real. So number one, two-way radios. I mean, this is a big one, I think, out there on the road. So many caravanners just don't have two-way radios out there. Look, if you're traveling up the road or just locally, there's no need for it. But if you want to go across the country, across the Nullarbor, you're traveling the state and on the road for quite a while, you've got to have a bloody two-way radio. If you don't, you're a fool. That's all I can say. What's the matter, Flea? Eh? And the amount of people out there who I've nearly seen have accidents without them is just absolutely ridiculous. So you need to have a two-way radio in your vehicle at all times. Going across the Nullarbor, I've seen a very close near miss. You've got your road trains, and then you've obviously got your caravan coming up behind them, and I was behind this other caravan. I'm trying to call the caravan up to let him know that I'm coming up behind him. No answer, no anything. And this is a 24-foot van this guy was towing. And he didn't contact the road train to try and pass him. The road train was sitting on 90. This guy obviously wanted to go a lot faster. And I'm trying to call him. He didn't call the road train. This guy just pulled straight out. And there was another road train coming up over here on the other side. And I had to back right off to let this guy back in, because it would have killed everyone in the car. And that's not the first time. I've seen plenty of it. Queensland, same again. I was following a smaller vehicle with a smaller van in the back. He was only doing 75, the roads are bad. I was doing my 85, 90, and I had a road train hurtling up my backside. This guy had 3 trailers on, and he was hurtling. So I was trying to call this van up in front of me. No way was he going to answer at all. So I anticipated, I backed off and I left a gap right back to about 60 k's, and I called up the road train behind him, and then I got him around me so he can then catch up with the car in front and get around him, which he should be doing. Now this guy was trying to call up this car in front of him, no answer at all. So the road train went for a nice long stretch. He pulled out, put his foot down to go, and this dickhead in this other van decided he didn't like the fact he was going to do that, and he put his foot down and sat next to him, increasing speed, so this road train cannot come back in. And there was a corner coming up, so the road train eventually got enough speed up, and he got in front of him and just got in behind the corner. So this is what you've got to deal with on the road. Dickheads like this, no communication, it is dangerous, and people will get killed. So look guys, if you're going to travel full time on the road, or you're going to travel long distances, please put a two-way in your car. If you can't afford a GME like I've got in mine, just get a couple of cheap handhelds. That's all you have to do with your two-way communication, a couple of cheap handhelds. And stay on channel 40 all the time. Stay in the transport channel, listen to truck drivers, listen to everyone you're going to do. If you want to have chit-chat with fellow caravanners, jump to channel 18 and chat on channel 18, or have a separate two-way. You hear all the time of caravanners come in, 3 or 4 caravanners in a group. We're coming into Port Augusta, and they're all chatting. Hey Frank, hey Bob, let's go to the Ampol for a pie, or on channel 40. It's bullshit. That's a trucking channel, and you wonder why the truckies get on the channel and start going off their nut at you guys, because you're on that channel and you're blocking the airwave. If you want to chat, jump on channel 18. Talk between yourselves and 18. 40 is for transport communication only, and if you want to pass and talk to road trains and heavy transport. Plus, if you've got heavy haulage and you've got oversize coming, if you talk over these guys, people are going to miss some important information. So please listen to channel 40, and then if you want to chat, jump on to 18. So yeah, that's probably my biggest gripe on the road is, and it really pisses me off, people not using two-way radios. So number 2 is speed. I don't know what's going on with some people out there. I really don't. I mean, you're on holidays or you're getting somewhere. There's no need to go 110 mile an hour. It's a joke. I've seen people, I mean, 100 kilometres an hour with a van on the back. Most states limits, and you can't do any more than that. I've seen people doing 120 plus with a van. I had one person pass me. I was doing, the roads are very iffy in Queensland. I was doing probably about 90, 85, 90, because it was pretty bad condition. This guy came hurtling behind me, overtook me, and he was doing about 120, and he kept on doing 120. He was out of my sight. Meanwhile, the van is going like this all the way through down the road, left to right, probably shifting half a metre either side, and this guy was just blasé. The trailer's hitting the gravel flicking up everywhere, and he just kept on hoofing it down the road. These are the sort of people that will kill someone or not kill their family or someone in the car. Stick to your speed limit. If you're comfortable doing 100, do your 100. That's fine, but don't do any more. Drive to conditions. If the road starts deteriorating or you're on a backcountry road where it's not so good, drive to conditions. If it's wet, drive to conditions. Slow down, guys, because it's not worth the risk of damaging your vehicle and trailer or your caravan and hurting yourself or hurting others. And it is happening out there more and more. So drive to conditions, guys, and watch your speed. There's no need to be a bloody idiot in speed. I understand there's a lot of people out there that drive very slow. They might drive 75 and 100 zone. Be patient, you know. Don't get aggressive with them. Just wait for a spot where you can overtake and pass them, and get around them as best they can. They might be learning, or they might be an elderly couple or something like that. Have some patience. Get around them at decent speeds when you can, and don't be dickheads about it. So speed is a big one. Yeah, I'm surprised not more people have died on the roads, because there's some absolute dickheads out there. All right, number 3 is it's more of a maintenance issue. People don't do maintenance on the vans, and the big one is your tow hitch. What's the matter, Fee? Looking for mum. Your tow hitch and your wheel bearings. People don't check these things, and there's more and more wheels coming off out there, and tow hitches unhitching because bolts are snapped because people aren't checking them. You need to check the bolts on your hitch, and you need to check your wheel bearings a lot more regularly. Get yourself a torque wrench, torque the nuts up. I do mine probably 3 times a week. I check my wheel nuts on my van. You need to check these things, because a wheel bearing could just go like that, and if you can sense something's not right, get over, check it, or check it at a van park or off-grid park, or wherever you are. Give the wheels a shake, jack them up every now and again, check the wheels, check your bearings, because people don't do that. And I've spoke to people on the road and asked them, have you checked your wheel bearings? Do you want to borrow my torque wrench to check them up? And they don't even know what a torque wrench is. So I think you need to do these sort of things. And the same with your hitch. I've seen people with hitches come loose because you've got 4 bolts on a DO35, and if you don't check them regularly, these bolts come loose, and one bolt snaps, and then after a while the whole 3 will go and you'll lose your hitch, and then the van will come off the back of your car. So please make sure you check these things, because that's a major issue, and that is really dangerous for you and other people on the road, and people just don't get it. So that's number 3. Maintenance mainly on your hitch and your wheel bearings on your van. Sorry guys, I had to stop and start the video there. The dogs wanted out. They wanted to go outside with Lisa. They were getting a bit hot in here with me, so just got them outside with her. They didn't want to listen to my rant and raving. They don't want to get involved either, so they're out of here. All right, what are we up to? Number 4, inexperience. Now, I'm not blaming anyone. It's just people aren't getting enough experience in these vans, and accidents are happening a lot. I've seen it again firsthand. People buying brand new vans. I spoke to people on the road. They might have a Land Cruiser or a big vehicle, another patrol or whatever you got, and they've just gone out and bought a 24-foot van. First van, first big vehicle, and they've never driven this on a highway or open road before. So they've bought the van, parked it up home for a few weeks, packed up, and then they've gone on their maiden voyage. And they just don't know anything about the van or how it handles, and how to set it up, which it is dangerous. Inexperience is very dangerous. So if you get a van, guys, a lot of you experienced guys out there will probably agree what I'm saying here. If you're going to buy a van, take it out down the local highway, sit on 100, see how it tows, alter your speed. You'll get to know your van and how you load it. You'll see if it gets a bit of movement in the back end, and then you'll learn how to load the front of your van on that hitch to get the maximum safe travel, I suppose you could call it, for that van. And you know, we'll talk about weights in a minute, but you need to experience that van and how it handles around corners, how it handles on the wet, how it handles if you've got a brake to set of traffic lights. People don't understand that all these vans handle differently and they load differently. So don't just get a van and go out and say, I'm going to cross the Nullarbor, I'm going to travel for 6 months, because you're going to find yourself in a bit of trouble in different situations. Get your van, take it out, experience how it drives, feel how it drives, and see how that van handles the tow ball and how it sits in the road. So, and learn your van, learn all things about your van, learn a bit of maintenance and your wheel bearings and your wheels, and learn everything before you go, how to jack your van up. A lot of people out there I've seen on the road, they've got a flat tyre and they don't know how to jack the van up. They don't even know where the jack is to change a tyre. And these are people who are trying to travel on the road full time, which is scary. It is scary if you cannot change a tyre on the road. People that don't know how to grease your suspension or anything like that, which are main things when you've got to be on the road. You need to learn these things. It's not hard to learn. You've got a manual. You got good old World Wide Web, Google stuff if you have to, and that's how you can learn from these videos. So yeah, inexperience is a big one. I think you need to learn your van and how to tow before you set out. I mean, some of these states now are doing towing courses, and I think they're a good idea. So if you've never towed before, do one of these towing courses, and they'll teach you how to reverse and do chicanes and do all that sort of stuff, and how to handle your van. It's a bloody good idea to put a couple of $100 in before you go. So yeah, if you've got a new van, just do a bit of local travelling around first to a local caravan park or go down the highway. See how she handles before you set off, so you get familiar and you get to know your van. So very important. A lot of people don't do that, so that's high on my list as well. All right, number 5. Here we go. Set up, weight on hitch. This is a big one. People don't understand how to load the vans. And the amount of vans that I've seen out there travelling down the road, you see them like this. There's your tow hitch, there's your van, and your car's sunk at the back end. And you're just towing, pushing that van down. Or you see them really high, sitting too high like this. You cannot tow like that. You need to have it relatively level to tow and get the tow ball height right and get the weight on your hitch right. Now, we're not talking about GVMs, all that on your vans, what your van weighs and car weighs. That's a separate kettle of fish, and probably a video down the track, I don't know. I'm talking about your tow ball weight. Tow ball weight is crucial, because that will govern how your van is going to sit behind you on the road and if it's going to do a lot of RCN sway or not. Now, my van tow is beautiful. I don't get an ounce of sway. An ounce of sway. Even at 100 k's, I do not get an ounce of sway. Unless there's a strong wind, I get a bit of sway. This thing tows really nice, because I've got my tow ball weight set absolutely smick. Now, it didn't happen straight away. It took me probably a month to position how I want everything in that van to get it flowing absolutely perfect. I mean, it always towed nice and straight, but I got to the point now where I know in heavy winds and in wet weather, I'm not going to have an issue, knock wood, because I know how she tows. So it might take a few weeks to get your loading, everything right. But what people don't understand, on your tow ball, you want 10% of that caravan's weight on your tow ball. If you get not enough and it's too light, you will start to have problems with it drifting and swaying and just handling on the back end of your ute as well, or your car. You'll feel it and it's not good. If it's too heavy as well, you're pushing too much weight in the back end of the car, and that's another not a good idea. So about 10%. So for instance, if you've got a 3-ton caravan, so all uploaded, you've got 3 ton. So 10%, you've got 300 kilos on that table. So I think a lot of these caravan weighing guys, they'll tell you anywhere between 8 and probably 8 and 12 or 8 and 13% is good. Anywhere in that range is good, but I like to focus on about 10%. 10%'s spot on. And if you can get 10% in your tow ball and your caravan's weighted nice, you should tow absolutely like a straight line. Shouldn't have an issue. It all depends on what you've got in your car or a ute as well. Utes might be a bit different, but in my patrol, the way I've got the setup in there, and I've got my 10% in the tow ball. So this is a 3.5 ton van, and at the moment the van is about 350. So I got about 330, 335 on the tow ball, and it is absolutely smacks your toes beautifully. So tow ball weights, if you're unsure, again, get on the web, Google your tow ball weights, your size of your van. There's calculators in there, you can work stuff out. And then down the track, once you get it set up, you can weigh your van and car and get your gross weights all sorted out so you're nice and safe towing around the country if need be. But tow ball weight is a big one, guys. It does make huge difference. People go, oh, whatever, you know. I've asked people on the road about tow ball weights, you know, what are you running? They said, oh, we don't know. We haven't got a clue. And they're saying, oh, I might get a bit of sway, or I'm getting, when I'm braking, I'm getting hard push because they're overweight. They don't know. So you need to get that. And you can just go down to BCF or outdoors or whatever like that, and you can buy little tow ball weights. They're probably accurate within a couple of 2 or 3 kilos, you know, they're not probably spot on, but $100 you can buy one, you put them on the ground, just load your jockey wheel up, and it gives you a rough idea, it comes down, of what that tow ball weight is for the van. So it's a good little device to have if you're unsure. $150 at your camping shops or BCF or Anaconda, anything like that. So tow ball weight's very important, guys, so please look at your tow ball weights, because that can be very, very dangerous as well. For when you're towing your van. Braking. Now, this is one I've done once myself, so I'm going to put myself in the deep end of this. So, when you're going down the road and you're sitting on about 85, 90 clicks an hour, and you've got the old wiki camps up, Mrs. has got the wiki camps on the phone, and you're looking for that camp spot. And good old wiki, you know that sometimes they're not all that accurate, and all of a sudden there's your camp spot to your left, and it shows it's still down the road a little bit. I've done that once, and I've learned from that mistake once. I was coming across an Nullarbor to find a camp spot, and there was no one behind me, and camp spot come up to me fairly quickly, and I hit the anchors hard to go left into this camp spot, and it was just way too hard. I mean, I got in there, but it was gravel, and I slid a bit coming in, and it was dangerous. I'll put my hand up for that one. I should not have braked. I should have just kept on going. So if you are braking hard, if you've got someone up your arse end or a truck or a road train, they're not going to stop. They're going to wipe your whole van out and take you with them. So braking, don't brake hard. If you miss a campsite, keep on going. If you see it and you come up and go, oh shit, don't hesitate to hit the anchors. Get back on the pedal and just keep at your speed. Find somewhere, there's always somewhere to turn around. Even if it's 10 k's down the road, and you've got to turn around the truck or something, turn around and come back to your point. It's not worth hard braking and causing yourself injury or someone behind you. I've done it, put my hands up, and I've learnt from my own mistake there. So hard braking, it's a big no-no. And the last one, number 7, this one's more not to the caravanners themselves. This is aimed at other caravanners who are watching caravanners doing something wrong. So this one's helped someone in need. So a lot of parks I've been to, I've helped a lot of people out. So a couple of instances, there's one old fella come in and he was trying to back into a caravan spot. He had a 24-foot van and he had a Land Cruiser. The van was hired, so he's going out on a holiday and he just couldn't get back this van in. So I sat and watched for a while and he finally got it in. And he was struggling unhitching this van. So it was an older Jayco van and it had a real funny hitch that you got to lift up and pull forward anyway. It's a weird one. And he just he's sitting there and he's putting fingers under between the hitch and I could see something nasty was going to go wrong here. The jockey wasn't down, legs weren't there. It was just going to be a nightmare. So I said, at least no, I've got to get out and give this poor old fella a hand. So I got out. And you just don't know people's circumstances. He's just got out of hospital. He was supposed to leave the day before. His hospital got day surgery got delayed, so he got out. So he was flustered. He didn't have much strength, and he could have broken a hand or cut a finger off or anything the way he was trying to unhitch. So I got out and I helped him put the legs down, got his jockey wheel down, and this hitch was buggered, so I had to really force it up to get this off the van. And the way he had the car positioned, it would have popped off sideways and hit him with a leg or anything. So I got it off for him, settled him down and give him a few hands inside the van. He didn't know how to do a few things. So I think you need to help people out on the road when they need it. It's the big one, because some people just need help because they can't do certain jobs or certain things because there might be an underlying issue behind what's going on there. So if you see somebody in need, help them out. The second one was I was in another park and there was a lady trying to back, I think it was a 19-foot van into a car bay. And she just couldn't do it. I mean, she had 5 or 6 goes. Like, I'll sit back and watch someone. I'm not going to jump in and interfere because people don't like that. And she just couldn't do it. So I walked over and I said, look, love, I'll give you a bit of advice. She's trying to back in on her blind side. She just couldn't. She just could not get it. I said, look, I'm not going to jump in and do it for you. I said, tell you what, I told her how to do it. I said, look, come around the block and then face the other way and come in on your driver's side so you can watch the mirrors, and just get your husband to stand in the corner and use him as a guide. And she backed it in, and I just told her left hand down, right hand turn and down as she was backing in, and she got it first go. And she was a lovely lady and she was appreciative. She said, oh, I didn't realise that, now I know how to back, and just help him out. And again, her husband's got diabetes and he was unwell, that's why she was driving. So there's little instances and things underlining sometimes when people need help. So if you're in a caravan park and you see someone struggling, just watch them for a while. You know, some people like to do their thing and then they'll get it in the end. But if you really see them struggling after a while, you know, get off your high horse, get down there and give them a hand. Ask them if they need a hand first, or, you know, or can I help you? Be friendly about it, and just help them out in whatever way you can to make them feel comfortable. And to me, that is safety on the road. You're helping these people out and you're being safe. If you're not doing that, you're being unsafe, because something could go wrong and they could break a knee when the hitch jumps sideways or whatever, or crush a finger. So if you're on the road, guys, that's one of the big ones, is help someone out. And don't let a situation become dangerous if you can avoid that happening. So help everyone out. That's the big thing on the road. All right, guys, I'm waiting for all these comments to come through. So if you've got comments, bring them through. I'd love to see them. If you think this is too controversial and you want to unsubscribe, hey, feel free. I'm probably going to get that as well, because there's no one out there that wants to tell some truths or really go to detail about safety on the road, or, you know, dangers on the road. But are caravanners dangerous? Yes, some people are out there. Maybe 5% of caravanners shouldn't be driving on the road, shouldn't have a caravan. They don't want to learn. So, yeah. All right, guys, sorry to bore you so much on this one. Hope you enjoyed your Christmas, and I'll see you on the next one.